Yes.
There's no way
All
we
right.
could.
God.
Oh,
All right, guys, I'm recording. Episode 5. It's gonna be a little unserious, but it is an interesting video. And
Please, there's no
I
way
do,
it's gonna be
I
that
do want to
serious,
record
right?
it. It is kind of crazy. One of the
Okay.
craziest things I've ever seen. Like, well, this is actually from 5 years ago. This is actually in our state of Michigan, Detroit. Detroiters are waging paintball wars as a way to stop gang violence.
Okay.
I actually,
Okay.
dang! I actually like this
yeah,
idea.
I actually met.
This
It's
guy,
better than getting shot in the head.
yeah, this guy's actually
Let's see
locked
what's
in, bro.
happening here. Could you
Okay, that is just vandalism.
How
imagine?
is that gonna stop gang wars?
That isn't. Yeah,
I'm
I'm not
Yeah.
actually
sure.
I'm
Could you
actually
imagine?
interested.
You're just a lone pedestrian just walking across the street. All of a sudden, a charger just comes by.
Nah, imagine
Doesn't
your
drive
op
by with
comes up with a
paintball.
paint gun and goes like, "Hey, what's up? What's up with it?" And shoots you with it.
All right. I want to see if there's anything interesting that they say here. So let's actually continue the video.
Yeah. See that big brown house?
Yeah, it looks like these are just drive-by.
So-called paintball war began on social media as someone's
But one thing I'm glad is I'm glad that they're kind of, going away from using guns. Yeah, like just moving to paintball guns in general is just probably like the best decision anybody can make
All right, but
in a
ideally,
game.
would this really work though? Because like, doesn't paintball like even if it's just a paintball, right? It still
Mhm.
hurts to an extent, right? Like
Yeah,
even people
okay,
like,
but but
shoot
you
their
you you
firearms
can
with
agree it's infinitely better than utilizing guns on the
It
street.
is, but like I've
It,
seen videos where
Would
people
you
get
rather get
threatened and they
shot
pull
by
a
a
gun.
blicky, or would you rather get shot by, I don't know,
and I mean, a
like,
paintball gun does hurt because it has a lot of pressure, but it's not gonna harm you a lot. I mean,
No, but I'm
unless
saying
you get
like
in the eye, your eye is done for. I do know that.
no. My
But,
point is that this might like influence others to actually use their firearm because I've seen
mhm,
like people get threatened and people pull the firearm on them.
mhm. Oh, that
So
is
even
pretty
getting
interesting. Yeah,
injured
yeah, yeah.
by paintball can like influence
I
someone to
can,
pull a
yeah,
firearm.
I can agree that maybe an individual on the street, if they got pulled upon by a paintball gun, that could cause a lethal interaction.
Yeah, because
But
paintballs can still be lethal, depending on where you shoot it. Like if it goes in your
mhm,
eye, right?
yeah,
Can't yeah, that just like I think that's really dangerous. So,
hmm.
but it's better than like firearms in general, though.
Oh, I just noticed the caption. Police
Yes.
in several cities across the U.S. are trying to put a stop to the groups of men waging paintball battles as a war, part of Paintball's Up Guns Down. This is actually an anti-gun violence campaign. I didn't even realize that. And
Oh, I
police are
see.
calling that misguided. What do you guys think about that? Police, how could this be misguided if this is an anti-gun violence trying to transition from guns to paintballs, to less lethal firearms? You guys have any thoughts on that?
um, I mean, if it works, it works. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it, I mean, I would have to see it really. Like, I would have to like see if it actually works. Like, cause
Yeah.
that's
Honestly,
just
hold up, let me see.
Before you
Okay,
guys
okay.
continue, sorry about that, but I
Yeah.
saw that the Detroit police chief James Craig said the paintballs up guns down movement has got out of control apparently and could backfire if
Wait.
officers mistake a paintball gun for a real firearm.
Okay.
now I'm not
That
too
Is
might
is
sure.
that
that a
might be
reach? Is that a reach?
I
Because
it depends because like what
hmm
if you're in the dark, right? Someone is holding up like something like a firearm, right? But you can't
hmm
see it's a paintball, so
I can see that. Yeah, I
yeah,
can
you
see
can
that.
really see it as a firearm. But
Hmm
also I think it's like misleading, misguided somehow, you know why?
hmm
Because
Why?
people can still vandalize buildings, because
Hmm
it's not like it's a firearm, right? It's
Yeah,
still a paintball gun, so you can,
Yeah.
there's like
yeah.
potential for vandalism.
And also, just reading this, I also noticed that as many as 50 shooters are taking aim each other at once, and they're being targeted for being young and black, and that cleaning up paint is a lot better than picking up dead bodies. So,
Yeah,
just with that in
man.
mind, is it better for vandalism to occur over dead bodies? I agree with that. I kind of do with that vandalism takes the place of dead bodies. That is an ideal world. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
But would it stop people who are actually having like real beef? Like actual like they genuinely hate each other. Like a gang genuinely hates each other, right?
Hmm
Would they really like do vandalism instead of like getting rid of their opposition? I
Wait,
mean,
that's a good point because if two people like or two gangs are having a beef with each other and
Hmm.
they're using paintballs, wouldn't that make each other an ally then?
What do you mean by
They
that?
they would not be allies, but it would just look. But wouldn't it make
It would kind
them
of
look weak in front of the other
exactly. It would
gangs?
be kind of
Yeah,
like almost unserious in a way, and like I don't know,
yeah.
because
Their reputation would be
Hmm.
at risk.
and at the same
I
time
wouldn't
they're
know. I'm not in a gang,
yeah
but
no they're both okay yeah yeah,
gotta
but
clarify.
also they're both like essentially participating for the same anti-gun protests or movement.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's weird.
I don't know. I prefer this type of anti-gun violence over like the use of real guns, though. I mean, we've lost many people to guns. I mean, even like prominent artists. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard, but Takeoff from the rap trio Migos was actually shot in the head a
Oh,
couple
I've heard
months
of that.
ago.
That was like yeah,
Yeah,
I've
and it
heard
was
of
a
that.
pretty tragic incident too. It happened right in front of one of the members of the Migos. I think Quavo was there, and he was just shot in the head right in front of him.
Wait, what is that?
Absolutely crazy.
Is that
And
an
apparently,
example of gang violence?
I believe it was actually caused from gang violence too. That's the crazy part.
Really?
And if you know about, I have actually seen a documentary on the old block and the history of old block, and which sounds kind of funny to say, but if you've like heard about the violence that goes on old block, it's young kids are dying. I mean, in New York, this happens too. The gangs in New York, this happens in New York. Young kids are just dying left and right just because of gun violence. Imagine if you subbed in paintball wars over gunfights. That would be much better. I mean, it's gonna not only lead to like less deaths, but I mean, I hate saying that as a hypothetical situation because I don't think that's gonna ever happen. But in an ideal world, this is much better to opt in for guns.
I would
But
say, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what were we gonna
no,
say?
no, no. Continue, continue.
All right, I would say, yeah, but then again, wouldn't it also be better for, let's say this, for like, how about we have like a system where it's like, there's like a ranking of like states that are like most dangerous, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then by rank, we go, all right, so this state is the most dangerous, so
Mm-hmm.
we are not gonna do any like, I don't know, easy access to guns for this state,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
I
Like,
mean, here's the issue with that. Anybody's
huh?
gonna find a way to get guns. If I mean, some people are gonna be crazy enough to even like travel to other states, go to gun shows, and illegally obtain guns. Like, I don't think
But
you're ever gonna stop the black market.
that's
So,
also not that's also the case for the whole paintball thing. That's also
hmm
the case. I
what do you
mean,
mean?
yeah, they could like go along with it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
some people might just be like, no, I wanna actually kill this person. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like what if they go like, hey, I actually don't like this person. I genuinely want to kill this person,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Gang wars happen due to disputes and like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like gang leaders wouldn't really want to put their reputation on the line
Mm-hmm.
like that by using that. So if even if it's like illegal guns that they buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be everybody's like expertise to be able to get illegal
Mm-hmm.
guns, right? So it should stop a number of people, right? It should
Yeah.
stop a good amount of people. Yes, it's more expensive than paintballs, or maybe it's not more expensive. I don't know. What is more expensive? Putting down, having more like safety drills or like background checks, right? More strict
Mm-hmm.
background checks,
Yeah.
or cleaning up a whole city full of paintball. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the first option is way more
I don't know,
restrictive.
but the issue with humans in general is, we're super unpredictable. I mean, even if you incorporate, background checks, even if you like tighten security, there's always going to be a way for a gang to spew. I mean, if you like, for example, if you go
Hmm.
to like the sex offender registry and search up your area, you're gonna notice they're all living right next to you. There's like 20 on my street, by the way, like just right next to me. It's just crazy. So, if they can live around your house, so could guns. Guns are always gonna exist near you. I mean, it's gonna be really hard to stop the illegal obtainment of guns and drugs too. This extends to drugs. It's gonna
Mhm.
extend to what else? It is illegal firearms in general. It's
Hmm.
so hard. Even if you impose the right measures, it's so
Yeah.
hard to stop it. It's
Yeah.
it's and that's why it's a global issue because everybody's gonna have everybody's gonna find a way to get a gun.
Yeah.
There's no
Also,
stopping
I
it.
don't really like this idea of paintball wars too,
Hmm.
because rather than like removing violence as a whole,
Hmm.
it just like feels like it's normalizing it in a way.
Oh, that's actually
Oh.
a good
Because
point. That's a good
yeah,
point.
that's why the officer thinks it's misguided, because the whole point of anti-firearms is to like prevent
Hmm.
violence as a whole, like not
Yeah.
promote like paintballs, because paintballs is
Hmm.
still, I mentioned before, it's still kind of harmful to others, like
Hmm.
depending on the
That's
shooters.
true. Yeah, I do know you do. Don't you have to like gear up for like a paintball?
Yeah, you
Right?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. That's a really
Yeah,
good
and
point.
I'm not sure if you guys already mentioned this, but paintball wars can, or I think I mentioned this as well, but
Hmm.
paintball wars, because they can like injure others, it can like
Yeah.
escalate into real firearms. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. I didn't
Yeah,
even think about that.
as a way to
That's
like assert dominance.
hmm
Yeah.
that's a really good point. Yeah, I can see these. Now that you like say that, I can see these paintball wars like going to like the wrong turn.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing point that you brought up. I didn't even think about that. All right. I do notice that there's a most replayed area here, so I'm gonna skip here because I'm sure this is just. Oh, these are just interviews.
Yeah, you can like see paintballs on
Yeah.
cars as well, like
Mhm.
vandalism. So
Yeah, yeah, I
it's
can
kind of
see that.
good.
Look at that vandalism here. This is crazy. All right, I'm gonna skip here because I see something interesting here. It kind of piques my interest.
All right.
Can't be broke when you're in the sport, man.
All right.
We squashed a lot of beef that was going on. Cause there was a couple dudes that really ain't fuck with each other. So when I seen them together, I knew this shit was real. It's definitely brought people together. People that didn't know people, that know each other. Like we was in the club last night. I'm bumping files of people that was in a paintball fight that I never knew. Just cause us.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. This kind of goes against what you were saying. So I'm not sure if you heard what the dude said, but if you notice, this is a strip club. I think this is a strip club. But
Yeah.
apparently, there are individuals in this place where he actually engaged in a fight with using paintball guns, and now he's dapping them up as if they're friends,
See,
even
this is what I
after
meant.
violating
Yeah.
committee act. Like, what do you guys think
Even if
about
So,
you
that?
look, because like paintball, paintball is a concept. It's like more like a fun activity to do, right?
Yeah.
And paintball is like it's so. I feel like paintball is like using paintball is just so unserious for a gang fight. So that's why I
Hmm.
said that it can like cause enemies to become friends. So in that aspect, I guess paintball wars are good in that sense, you know?
Hmm.
okay, I see it.
Yeah, that's
This changes my
crazy.
perspective a lot
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
on it.
nuanced.
Yeah, that's interesting. It
Hmm.
actually it made enemies into friends. I did not expect that outcome at all. It's actually working in Detroit, which is good to hear. Crazy to hear, actually. I,
Hmm.
I didn't
It's
I didn't
crazy.
expect substituting paintballs for guns would actually work.
Sometimes crazy. Sometimes the best ideas are the craziest.
Yeah,
You got to be a
definitely.
little crazy to
Yeah,
get your goals.
that does make me happy. That's actually kind of crazy to me. That's I'm gonna continue the video. That was a nice thing to hear.
Friendly talking shit on Instagram, following each other. I probably gained about 400 to 500 followers just off during the paintball movement. So it definitely brought a lot of people together.
Yeah, that's kind of beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. It brought a lot of people together from what he said. I'm
Yeah.
glad Detroit's crime rates actually dropped just from paintball wars, substituting paintball guns for just guns. That's
Sounds
crazy stuff to
weird, but
hear.
if it works, I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
I mean
happy
it,
with
it
that.
worked.
I'm
It
happy
worked.
with
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
imagine it's like like a week ago, you're trying to kill somebody with your gun, and then all of a sudden you guys engage in a paintball fight because you want to go to this movement, and I'm sure these gang members are aware of the violence that occurs in the communities. So this as a way to release anger, I'm assuming that's what they're doing, or settling disputes. So I think settling the disputes this way is way better than using guns. I mean that's a given. But that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to hear. Crazy thing to hear.
That is crazy.
I told you.
What?
Here they come. Hey,
But
that's fine, man.
It also
This
looks kind of
shit
goofy
crazy.
too.
I'm telling you, it's like so unserious.
Damn. The chief of police. His bitch ass talking
Oh, look at that
about
house.
fucking impersonating weapons and
Oh, hold on, hold on. I want to hear this. He was talking about the police here. Here,
Alright.
let's listen closely to this.
his bitch ass talking about we motherfucking
That's
impersonating
not.
weapons and
Hmm.
I don't
Impersonating
know what he said.
weapons.
Replica firearms, because when you look at some of these paint guns, they look just like an actual firearm. Police officers,
They do, yeah.
Oh,
Except for like the second.
replica
What
weapons,
I've never seen that kind of paintball
paint
though.
gun,
yeah. I've never
they
seen that
may
either.
make the
I would have
mistake
mistaken
of
that
thinking it's a
for
real
a gun too,
firearm and feel
actually.
threatened.
And the sound as well. That's kind of
Response to
crazy.
that.
yeah, we still go out.
Wait, one second. Let me hear what the chief said.
There may be a deadly response to that.
Yeah, we still go out.
Exactly.
I can understand that. There has to be, in order to fix this problem, there has to be a mandate on how they like use the appearance of a paintball. Because I'm sure because the examples I saw, they mimic a real gun. That's actually a pretty big issue. And
Yeah.
if you, I didn't even notice. If you look at the house, it's just
Yeah,
splattered
that's what I
with
said, bro. It's like all
like
vandalized and
paintballs.
everything. That's why it can be bad. Also, I want to go along with that police's opinion
Yeah.
that um because it can the sound of paintballs, right, and the
Hmm.
appearance of a paintball looking like a real gun, it can actually
Hmm.
just provoke others, right, other gang
Yeah.
members, I suppose, in this
Hmm.
case, to like bring out their real firearms just in
Hmm.
case, like, what if they thought it was a threat, it can really escalate to a huge gang war.
Yeah, I also empathize with the police here as well because it from what the guns are using, that's a really big issue. It can actually attract lethal force from the police, and that's a misunderstanding that you don't want to have. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
if you're mistaken to have a gun and then all of a sudden you get shot in the head because they thought that you had a gun, that's another issue that this can create. So they have to at least pass. I mean, these gangs have to at least pass a mandate in how they address the appearance of these firearms because they have to at least do something to make others know that it's a paintball gun and not like an actual gun.
Yeah, that would be kind of difficult though, in my opinion.
It'd probably be difficult. I'm sure they want to have something like a gun, just for like the intimidation factor, maybe just to relive the guns. I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's like every blue moon we got to sneak out because of the police. We go out sometimes, but at this point we had to stop it because no one want to go to jail and come out of the money just for something that we just doing on a friendly point. I mean,
Me
the
too.
police,
That's
it's gonna
crazy.
look like a real gun,
That's
period.
crazy.
No matter what it is.
I mean, it's better than them having a gun because I've seen lots of videos of little kids like having access to guns. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
Dude, they could
Teenagers
still get
actually.
access to guns, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure teenagers have a gun on them in Detroit. Actually that's actually more of a really common occurrence in in Detroit.
Yeah.
6 Mile, 7 Mile. Those are the dangerous parts that you
Hmm.
don't want
But
to really be
like,
near.
do you see,
Yeah.
like, look at the kid though? He's just like shooting at this random house, bro, and
Yeah,
his
I mean
parents just allowing
the
it.
house is also like not occupied.
It
You can
is,
tell
but
it's
it
broken.
isn't. But it's like it's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. That's pretty interesting. Kids are involved in this too. Or I don't
Yeah.
think they play in the paintball wars, but
I
there's
hope they're
also the
safe
show.
though now.
There's also the show reveals some about kids having access to firearms. That's another issue too.
It could be a water gun. So the police is gonna look like a real gun. But they hate it. They hate us, bro. By us being young and black. I'd rather for
Oh, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any thoughts
I
on
Yeah.
that?
kind of disagree. I think it's just
I
for
think.
police's
Yeah.
safety.
Hmm. Yeah, I empathize with the police here as well. I, and I can see how he spins it into be like a race issue. I don't think it's that. I mean, if you look at the chief is a proud black man who wants to enforce safety in Detroit, and Detroit is one of the most dangerous communities
And
to
yeah,
live in,
it's
Hmm.
just
actually. Yeah.
it's just a coincidence that like
Hmm.
many black people live in like a dangerous area in
Yeah, it is
Detroit.
coincidence. Yeah, and actually, it's a pretty unfortunate coincidence.
It is
I would
unfortunate.
say because I actually kind of think they were kind of forced into this predicament. These groups in general, because I kind of think that there is, and maybe I'm being a little racist myself, but I kind of think that white people do have some privileges that black people in particular don't have, and I think that's why you see a lot of them in poverty. because they don't have
Well,
access to the opportunity. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
well, I was gonna say like, well, I don't even really know about the history of Detroit because
Hmm.
apparently Detroit wasn't like this before, you know.
Oh yeah, my dad was a longtime resident of Detroit actually, and back then apparently I've seen pictures of it because my dad immigrated here 20 or 25 or 26 years ago, and it was a very beautiful place. If you go down Detroit and look at the houses, you'll notice a lot of them are burnt down. You'll notice a lot of them are abandoned. And so it's Detroit's in a pretty miserable state, and because of the way Detroit's been deteriorating, maybe that's another reason why you'll see a lot of these families like living in unfortunate conditions, as you can see here.
Yeah.
You guys have any other thoughts on that, or what I said too? Because what I said I think brings up another interesting point.
Well, there's
Uh,
probably like a no. I was just thinking about like a specific event that happened in Detroit because I don't know, like a Detroit can't really just deteriorate on its own. Like I think there was something happened, but I'm not really
mhm.
sure.
I mean, something definitely happened. I don't know enough about the history, so
Yeah, same either.
yeah, I'm a little
It's
ignorant.
what's the it's some type of riot that happened. It was a series of riots.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit riots.
Uh-huh.
That's what led to the whole the problem in Detroit because right people in Detroit were kind of just protesting the blind
Mhm.
pig, which
Yeah.
was the death of a black man,
Uh-huh.
and it was
Oh,
there were a lot of
Oh.
factors before that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like oh the one black man was killed and that's why the whole city crumbled. No.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit was in a very tense state
Mm-hmm.
because there was racism and prejudice of black people during that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the blind pig kind of just set it off because like
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Oh, this dude just killed a black man." It's just like every other whatever, right? Cop, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
they got mad. During that time, they would be like, it was very much a serious issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanna, just thinking about it, I wanna correct myself. I think it's just people in low economic conditions that just lack privileges. I don't, and this so because I actually do, reflecting on what I said, I actually did maybe there was some truth to that statement, but it's these low economic conditions that, force these people, every people actually, every person, every race, that it just creates these disparities. Maybe that's why gang violence is a thing here because of low economic
no,
conditions.
I actually agree with that point where like
Hmm.
like low income, like really
Hmm.
low income families
Yeah.
are more likely to taking more into criminal activities, right?
Yeah.
And this includes gang, I guess. And I guess
Yeah.
to compensate for like the gang violence, they just use paintballs instead, I
Hmm.
suppose.
Yeah. I mean, it's a better way to compensate for it. I actually do like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is kind of an interesting video. I didn't notice it to progress like this. Actually, I want to see what happens at the end. See if there's anything interesting
The
that
city to
happens.
take the paint off the buildings than picking up dead bodies any day. We already the
I
murder
agree with
capital.
that.
If we can
I agree
paintball
with
with each
that.
other and don't kill each other, what you rather have?
He does bring up a good point. I rather have alive people than dead bodies on the street. One thing about the news that I noticed, and a lot of people don't really pay mind to it, is the amount of people that die from violence. It's such a
Gun
normalized thing. I
violence,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, if you think about like the school shootings, I don't think anybody even remembers about Oxford until I just say set up something about it.
Yeah.
The Oxford school shooting was something that super like it's a crazy event that happened in Michigan, by the way, and I don't think anybody remembered it at all because I don't hear anybody talking about it. And maybe
That is true,
there's
but
Oh,
I
the
feel like that's a
Oxford
different
thing?
cause though. I think that's a different
Oh.
cause though.
No,
yeah, no, it's a different.
that's
It's a
people
different.
talked about it. People talked about it.
No,
But
but
it
what
was hmm?
actually, you can continue. But wait, hold on, hold on. What I was saying is this violence is so normalized. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that
Uh,
That's
is
like
true.
another global issue, how normal the violence is.
uh,
Yeah, but I just looked up though. Like I just realized it
Mm-hmm.
says that paintballs are not that bad for the environment because they are biodegradable. And I think I was just worried about, its
Mm.
impact on, the environment in general. So I guess the only
Oh,
issue is just vandalism, but
yeah.
also doesn't like if you're in a gang war, right,
Hmm.
and you use paintballs, aren't you just
Yeah.
trying to inflict harm to the opponent anyways?
I
So
mean that is true,
it gets so
but
weird.
from what I took from this video, they're not doing it with the intent to kill, but the intent to just like maybe like hurt a bit.
Yeah,
Like
so that like they can give
because
up or something. That's
having
weird.
the intent to kill the intent to harm are two very different things. If you want to kill
Yeah,
somebody, you're taking their life away. But if you want to hurt somebody, you just want to inflict some damage, and it's nothing bad, nothing terrible.
yeah,
And I would rather have that. I'd rather have people with the intent to harm instead of killing, because killing is a terrible thing.
I
You're taking
agree.
away somebody's right to live. So,
that's
any closing thoughts? I actually kind of like this video. It was pretty crazy.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
Nope.
Oh, all right. Okay, that concludes the fifth episode. All right. Okay. Can I stop sharing this? Oh my God. Yo, I think my thing froze. That's an issue.
Maybe.
Yo, I don't like that. My thing stopped.
Can you like Windows?
No, my Zoom froze. I literally can't do anything. Oh,
No.
wait for
Oh,
program to respond. Please, please do not. Don't leave me, please. How did this almost like crash?
So what kind of computer?
No, it's not even my computer, bro. It's just Zoom. No, do not crash. Do not crash. Oh my God. Yeah, are you guys still in the meeting?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo, it's not even opening. Oh my God, I have to close the
Oh
program. I
no.
think I think I lost the recording.
No.